Hello and welcome to Fresh Thoughts by Classically Trained Nerds. Warning, contains spoilers, very, very spoilery. So I just got done watching Season 4, Episode 1 of Sherlock Holmes, titled The Six Thatchers on BBC. And I'm not really sure if it was my anticipation-fueled imagination or it really wasn't what I was hoping for. I'm not sure if the episode really lived up to what I expected it to be. So first off, this whole episode was like a big old bait and switch. Here we thought Moriarty was going to be a main proponent in the episode, but he wasn't. He hardly ever showed up, but he was mentioned quite a bit. Now, he was used as a plot device to help motivate Sherlock to solve crimes, and he tried to connect crimes with Moriarty's intentions or what he thought he was going to be doing, but in the end, none of it had anything to do with Moriarty. Now, I'm a bit disappointed in that fact. I'm not sure if it was my hyperactive imagination, but I was really looking forward to seeing Moriarty and continuing the Moriarty story arc. Now, they did use the Moriarty as a really nice writing tool in order to motivate Sherlock into taking cases again and to help fuel his ongoing drive to figure out Moriarty and figure out what his plans are. So let's take a look at the episode. So it starts off with Sherlock getting off of murder from shooting Magnuson point blank in the face, so that he can help solve the Moriarty situation across London. Unfortunately, he doesn't do that at all. For months and months, he just solves random cases that he thinks are attached to Moriarty, and there's no progress in it whatsoever. Now, months go by, Mary and John have their baby, and this episode really turns out to be a big Mary Watson origin story. So during one of Sherlock's cases that he solves very easily in his Sherlockian way, he notices that there are 6 limited edition Margaret Thatcher statues that are being destroyed in all of these unrelated crimes. So he does know that the 6th one is still in existence, so he waits for the criminal to go that night, and lo and behold, the criminal is there that specific night. Now, it turns out that this criminal was one of Mary's old assassin buddies, and that he was trying to find a USB drive that we saw in the earlier episodes, the AGRA drive that Mary gave John. And I guess all these assassins have one so that they can kind of keep tabs on each other and so that none of them can betray each other, as they all have the evidence to take each other down. So during this scene with the assassin, there's a really cool fight scene. This is something we haven't really seen too much of, at least not to this degree in a Sherlock Holmes BBC. This is something more equated to the Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. It does involve a swimming pool and some really cool moves. I would highly recommend watching it. It's probably one of the better parts of the episode. So like I said, this really was a Mary Watson origin story. So after the fight scene, there's a bunch of stuff that happens between Mary and John. Mary leaves and goes on this like super epic kind of spy thriller flight scene between different countries and ends up in what looks like Afghanistan or some, Arab nation. And lo and behold, Sherlock's there with John and they figure out where she was. So come to find out that it's a standard issue misunderstanding revenge plot between Mary and this assassin. So after some emotional drama between John and Mary, crazy stuff happens. All types of crazy things. In the end, Mary dies. She's dead. Very dead. This happens because she jumps in front of a bullet that was headed for Sherlock, thus breaking Sherlock's vow to keep Mary under his protection and really pissing John off. Now instead they've used the assassination backstory to kill her off, which was the smart thing to do, because it both draws the audience back on the complicated and, in my opinion, the better relationship between Sherlock and Watson, but it also creates more drama between them. So it'll be a lot more entertaining to watch it unfold. So let's talk about this for a second. I may piss some viewers off, which is fine, you have a right to be, but I think killing Mary was the best thing to do. So it was kind of random that she was some sort of super assassin, and I think this would have driven the show into a totally different direction that I'm sure Stephen Moffat really didn't intend on pursuing. So it definitely could have escalated into a much different type of show that would have eliminated the elemental formula of the Sherlock series, and that could have been disastrous. So let me share with you some small theories I have about Sherlock in some of the upcoming episodes. So first, it was Sherlock who set up the Moriarty video virus across all of London. So hear me out on this. It is noted in this recent episode that Sherlock has befriended and that this person owes him favors, and that person is one of the best hackers in the world. Who better to plant a Moriarty virus throughout all of London? Now this brings up the other theory that Moriarty is in Sherlock's head. So Moriarty is in Sherlock's head, and Sherlock is starting to exhibit a split personality. So I mentioned this in a couple of ways. So first off, in the beginning of this episode, when Sherlock is getting off for murder, he acts very un-Sherlockian, being a little bit more on the upscale of his bipolarism. He's very energetic, he's making fun of people, he's having a very personable connection, even though it's very insulting, he is having a personal connection with the people around him. Very much not like him. Second off, in the last episode of the season 3, when Sherlock gets shot, he goes into his mind palace. And in his mind palace, very, very deep, is Moriarty chained up, as though he's keeping him hidden in his own brain. So third off, in the episode in between season 3 and season 4, there's a dialogue between Moriarty and Sherlock in Sherlock's own head. And Moriarty even says, "Your brain is like a hard drive, and I am the virus." So that's my theory, folks. We'll see if it pans out in episode 2 of season 4, airing next Sunday. So that was just my fresh thoughts on the episode. What do you guys think of the episodes? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks guys for watching Classically Trained Nerds. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out greatly. And you can follow me on Twitter. I will link my handle below.